Hello, YouTube. What is going on? Happy Tuesday. My name is Jake Asman. You are watching my channel. This is the Jake Asman Show on YouTube. All right, let's dive into some Jets talk here on a Tuesday. Before we do, though, if you're new to the channel, you know the drill. Please subscribe below, like this video, help me grow. It goes a long way. And if you're a daily listener, daily viewer, I certainly appreciate you. Thanks for your support of the channel. A lot of people have reached out in previous videos. I mentioned that if you're interested in trying to get a Zach Wilson jersey, or if you're interested in getting a Mekhi Becton jersey, Elijah Moore, and you don't want to pay a huge price, a la hundreds of bucks from wherever you get your real jerseys. If you follow me on Twitter and subscribe to me once again on YouTube, DM me on Twitter at Jake Asman. I'll shoot you a link where you could get a jersey from parts unknown that won't cost you a ton of money. I got this Zach Wilson jersey right here a couple of weeks back, and it's stitched. It's very nice. It's not the greatest of all jerseys, obviously, but for 30 bucks, you can't beat the price. So if you're interested in that jersey, please subscribe to me here on YouTube, follow me on Twitter, shoot me a message, and I'll hook you up. Today, I want to talk about Marcus Maye and the Jets. The Jets have 15 days, or I guess technically 16 days from right now, to work out a long-term extension with their safety. So Marcus Maye is under contract on the franchise tag for one more season. He could play the year out on the tag, and that'd be totally okay from the Jet standpoint. From Marcus Maye's standpoint, though, he wants security. He wants a long-term deal. And I think the Jets would be wise to pay Marcus Maye. They have 16 days exactly between now and July 15th to work out a new contract. If they fail to come to terms on a new deal, Maye plays on the franchise tag for $10.6 million. And look, $10.6 million for Marcus Maye, it's a pretty good price. He's a good player, and that number would tie Marcus Maye with Marcus Williams for the sixth largest cap hit among safeties in 2021. So, by the way, Marcus Williams also has the franchise tag. Now, let's look at Maye's career with the Jets. He's been a good player since they drafted him. He had an up and down rookie season in 2017, but in 18, 19, and last year in 2020, he's been very good. And if you remember, Marcus Maye was named the Curtis Martin, Jets MVP by his teammates this past year. That's voted on by his teammates, the Curtis Martin Team MVP Award. So he had a really good year, despite the fact the team only won 2 games. He was a team captain. His teammates love him. Good leader. He's done everything right through his first couple years with the Jets, and has obviously been on some teams that have just been god-awful. So I want the Jets to sign Marcus Maye by this deadline, because I think it sends the right message in the locker room to lock up a guy like Marcus Maye long term. You're not talking about $18 million a year. You're not talking about like crazy money for him. But think of the players the Jets have either traded or cut over the last couple of years. They have not kept their own. And part of it's due to the fact that they had drafted poorly. Sam Darnold hasn't worked out. You had to trade him. Leonard Williams was never working out with the Jets. You had to trade him. Jamal Adams, we know how that ended. You had to trade him. They have not kept their own. The last time they had an opportunity to sign one of their own free agents that was like an impactful player, that was Robbie Anderson, and they obviously let him walk, and Joe Douglas came out and said that was a mistake, and he admitted it. So I think not signing Maye long-term, well, you would have him under the franchise tag, and I don't think Maye would hold out. I think he'd show up because he wants to get paid. He's 28 years old. He's got a finite amount of time to get his money. I don't think he's skipping out. I think you want Marcus Maye to come in, and you want him to get signed long-term so he can continue to lead by example on that defense. He's a good player. I think if the Jets are going to overachieve, you want Marcus Maye under contract, signed long-term. It sends the right message to those in the locker room. And if you have Marcus Maye signed long-term, it's easier to maneuver your salary cap down the line for future moves. You can manipulate your salary cap by extending some of that money into future years. If you franchise tag a guy, that $10.6 million counts all against your cap. So if you extend Maye, you create some more financial flexibility to make a move in season potentially. Maybe the Jets are exceeding expectations. They can go out in the trade deadline and add a player. You never know. But I think big picture, the message it sends to get Maye in the fold, that you keep your own, that's the right message you want to send to the other players in your locker room. And if you remember at Robert Saleh's introductory press conference, he said something that a lot of coaches, I don't think, ever say. He's like, I want my guys to buy in, play well, so we can help them get paid. Well, Marcus Maye has bought in. He's been through now 2 coaches, going on his 3rd coach in Saleh. It sends the right message if you sign him long term. And Joe Douglas has said, well, after the draft, we're going to look at it. We like Marcus Maye. We want to get this done. Well, it sends the right message if you do actually get it done. No one's saying you pay Marcus Maye a stupid amount of money. But look what the Browns gave John Johnson as an example. They gave him $11.25 million per year in free agency this past offseason. I think that could serve as the type of structure we're looking at for Marcus Maye's deal. I'm not saying you're paying him, 15, 16, 17 million dollars a year, because I don't think he's worth that. But I think there's a common middle ground here where the Jets and Maye could come to terms on an extension that makes sense for both sides. He's a good player. If you look at his Pro Football Focus ranks over the last now 3 seasons, he has a higher overall grade than some of the guys I'm about to mention. Landon Collins, Kevin Byard, Justin Simmons, Budda Baker, Eddie Jackson. So those guys all have higher contracts than Marcus Maye. He's graded out better than those guys over the last 3. Now, PFF is not everything. It's a subjective viewpoint at just using that to make your case. But it's one thing you could point to say that, yeah, you know what? Marcus Maye is a pretty good player. He's a good leader. He's been a good player. He has, obviously been well liked by his teammates, being named team captain last year. These are all the reasons why you want to extend him. And some more PFF stats from you. From 2018 to 2020, his coverage grade is an 80.1. According to Pro Football Focus, that's the 5th best among safeties, including 3rd best among safeties with at least 2,000 total snaps. And what I like about Marcus Maye is that he has gotten better each year. His coverage grades have gone up from his rookie year to obviously his most recent year in 2020. He was up and down rookie year statistically, but 18, 19, and 20, he's been a really good player. And the other reason why I think it'd be a good move to sign Marcus Maye is because we're going to hear this story continue to percolate as we get closer and closer to training camp. Jamal Adams did not show up to mandatory minicamp in Seattle. He wants a new deal. So if Jamal Adams wants a new deal and Seattle's struggling to work out a long-term play, it makes the Jets look so much better if they could sign Marcus Maye long-term. They signed the other safety, the guy that bought in, and the Jets end up fleecing Seattle, getting 2 ones in that trade. Of course, they take one of those ones and package that to get Elijah Vera Tucker to hopefully be on this offensive line as a Pro Bowl level player for the next decade. And you end up re-signing Marcus Maye. Optic-wise, I think it makes the Jets look good. I think it obviously makes Joe Douglas look great, and it'd be another really good move. So I don't really see the downside in not signing Maye. If you don't work out a deal, is it the end of the world? No. I mean, he'll play on a 1-year, $10.6 million franchise tag. That's fine, but I don't think you're asking for that much, or I should say, I don't think Marcus Maye's side of things is asking for that much for a long-term deal. He's been a good soldier here. He has never thrown anyone under the bus. He didn't, Jamal Adams, this situation from a year ago. And I think another thing you want to look at with the Jets is that they saved some money restructuring Jamison Crowder's deal, right? They used that money to go out there and bring in Morgan Moses. They have plenty of money laying around. I think there's common ground that they could find here. The Jets still have a lot of cap, and I don't think ultimately it's going to take, $15, $16 million a year to sign Marcus Maye. He's a bit of an older player, which is, maybe why the Jets are a bit hesitant. He's going to be 28 years old this season. But you know what? He doesn't exactly have that much wear and tear on the tires. So I think this is a move you make if you're the Jets. Good player. You want to try and overachieve this year? I think you sign Marcus Maye to a fair contract both sides can agree to before the July 15th deadline. My name is Jake Asman. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe below once again if you're new to the channel. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for watching. We'll continue to have daily videos and segments from my radio show, The Jake Asman Show, heard weekdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern on SportsMap Radio. If you can't listen live, you can subscribe to the podcast. Just search The Jake Asman Show. We post both hours of the show wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, all that good stuff. Thanks to everyone for watching this. Tell me below, should the Jets and Marcus Maye work out a long-term deal before the July 15th deadline? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great Tuesday. See ya.